Welcome. We're doing a bit more sealed today. I'm decided I'm going to alternate between best of one, sealed, and traditional. So we just had quite a good result in best of one. I went 7 and 2, but we're going to do another traditional today. The last one I did, I think I went 1 and 2 with boros aggro. Yeah, so let's just get started. In fact, all three sealeds have been boros aggro so far. Right. Well, red could be quite good. is my initial evaluation there. We've got 3 red things. We've got even a red rare land, which is nice. Let's look at the odd one out. Let's look at the Loam Speaker. Green, so it's makes mana, and so he's a mana fixer, mana of any color. He can make a land into a 3/3 elemental till end of turn. At sorcery speed, so you can't make a blocker on your opponent's turn, or you can't make a creature at the end of your opponent's turn, so it's sort of you have the whole turn with it. Yeah, that's okay, but you don't. We're not missing out on a lot if we're just going to go maybe black red from just looking at these rares. Shadowrite Priest is it's a 2/2 for 2. Other clerics get +1/+1. Cool. So he's one of these tribal lords. We'll have to see how many clerics we get. That guy's a druid. That's a warrior. 3 and 2 black. Sacrifice another cleric. So you need another cleric before we can even trigger this. Search your library for a black creature card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So that could be really good, but it's dependent on a few things. It's a good chance we don't even play this guy at all, because we don't have any other clerics, because he's completely useless if there are no other clerics in the deck. So that's probably a bit of a shame, but no, there you go. We'll look, and then, right, we have the Goblin Lord. Same deal, I guess. Boosts only other goblins. And he's also, this guy's just a 1/1 for 2, which is, so that's below rate. Whenever this guy or another goblin you control dies, exile the top card of your library. If it's a goblin, you may cast that card till the end of your next turn. Okay. So it's designed for a goblin deck. It's fair to say you're very, very unlikely in sealed to actually top deck that goblin, that other goblin you have in the deck. So we probably don't play this either. In fact, Loam Speaker's looking like the most usable 2-drop we've got here. Now I know Temporal Firestorm is pretty cool, and it's a sweeper that does 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker for 5 mana. You could pay. Okay, you can phase out. If you pay 7 mana, you get to phase out one of your creatures. If you pay 9 mana, you get to phase out 2 creatures, but it needs white or blue mana to be paired up with this. But yeah, the 9 mana version of this is pretty awesome. You get to keep 2 of your creatures and hit everything else for 5 damage. So this is definitely a bomb. This is fantastic. So we do want to be in red just because of this card. Now, Chaotic Transformation, 6 mana sorcery. Exile up to 1 target artifact, up to 1 target creature, enchantment, planeswalker, and or up to 1 target land. Okay, so you exile 1 thing of each type. I'm trying to think, are there any types that are missing there? Artifact, enchantment, creature, planeswalker, land. Can't think of any. For each permanent exiled this way, its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a card that shares a card type with it, puts that card onto the battlefield, and then shuffles. Let me guess, if they can't find another thing that shares the type, then it just goes away. And you can target your own stuff as well. So anyway, if we just count, so it's one of each type. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Potentially hitting 5 targets. You're only hitting one creature. You're only hitting one planeswalker. Most of the time you'll be able to hit a creature and a land. You're going to be hitting their best creature. You're going to be hitting your weakest creature to get out something better. So on your side of the board, you can kind of improve your board position. You can exile artifacts like treasures as well, which aren't going to cost you very much. I don't think I haven't seen many treasures though in this set, I've got to admit. It'd be great for exiling sort of things like the Foliferous Vine Wall as well. So just kind of a useless creature that's like 0/2, and then you get something useful. And if your opponent's got a planeswalker, the chance of him having a second planeswalker is very low. So it's interesting. I'm trying to talk myself into playing this card. The only trouble is it's 6 mana removal, but it's so interesting. I think I have to play it. It's so chaotic. It's you can't really evaluate this card very easily. I'm gonna gamble and say that this is a good card. Right, we're gonna do our usual thing of sorting through our cards. You may have heard the BREAD acronym. It stands for bombs, removal, evasion. So the way I translate that, for me, bombs is a bomb is something that gives you kind of persistent card advantage every turn, usually. There's definitely other things that can be bombs as well. You kind of hope you know them when you see them. Things that are going to be very efficient. They're much better value. They're a good deal for the mana you're paying for them. That kind of thing. So, but let's keep it simple. I'm looking for removal, evasion, card advantage, and mana fixing. So this is mana fixing, the inscribed tablet. Okay. So this is one of the weaker mana fixing artifacts, because you only look at the top 5 cards of your library. But if you whiff, if you don't hit a land, you draw a card, so you get some compensation. Still, it's sealed, so this might be the best mana fixing we have. Okay, is an equipment. I mean, I won't include this right now. At this point, I might come back and grab this if it seems like it's going to be worthwhile. But it's going to be 3 mana to put this on a creature. And then it can trade up a bit. Maybe it's a 1/1. It gets to trade up with a 3/3. And you get to, obviously it's equipment, you get to reuse it. So this can be quite good value, this kind of thing. Okay, salvage mana worker is mana fixing, so we include that. And we've got the sentinel, so this is card advantage if you're playing multiple defenders. So we'll do a search for defenders and just see the defender situation. Right, the defender situation is, to be honest, I've seen better. There's a grand total of 4 defenders. Usually I've seen like 7 or 8. However, they are all concentrated in one colour, and we've got the other payoff defender that gives you bird creatures. And I think Clockwork Drawbridge is maybe the best one, because you can, it's like a removal spell, you can tap creatures, you can tap flyers with it. I've noticed none of the defenders have reach. Even so, I'll tell you what, we'll include this little package of defenders, but I suspect we won't play them. We'll look at white. So, Artillery Blast is removal. It does X plus 1, X equals your domain. It does it to a tapped creature, which is turns out to be quite limiting. Invariably, you're going to run into some vigilance creatures when you have this card, and you're going to feel bad. But still, it is removal. Destroy Evil is removal. Okay, just an efficient creature, not that interesting. 2 missionaries, that's pretty huge. In the Phantom Sealed, I got 2 missionaries, and of course, in one of the games, I was able to loop them. So, 1 missionary brings the other missionary back from the graveyard, and then that one maybe chump blocks, gains you some life, and then the next missionary comes out and brings that one back. So it can be quite a useful loop, especially now that they have lifelink. Herbalist is great. That's so scrying is sort of card selection. It's basically card advantage. Maybe scry 1 is worth half a card every time you do it, or something like that. Take up the shield is a combat trick, so we leave those out to begin with, but we might consider those later. Cavalier, you get a creature. You get 2 creatures. I mean, so that's effectively card advantage. Okay, this guy can pump the team, which is kind of good, but I think we leave that out. Citizen's Arrest is removal. Fantastic. We've got 2 of those. Heroic Charge is a combat trick, so we'll leave that out for the moment. The Phalanx we'll leave out. I would say just if we ignore the defender cards, even if we ignore those, that white's quite strong. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cards. So of course, you're looking for 23 cards in the deck, so if you've got about 10 cards that are, and these are good cards, that's a pretty good start. Because you usually fill it out with an artifact or 2, maybe with a splash color as well. Right, let's. I think let's look at blue next. Right. This protects a creature. It's a combat trick, basically. I actually saw someone use Timely Interference yesterday. It's kind of a good card, but it's very conditional removal, is how I'd put it. I think Founding the Third Path is quite good. It lets you select instants and sorceries from the graveyard, so you can choose the best one and cast it. So cast it again, so pretty good. This sort of ramps out land. I think it's pretty good. That's effectively removal. It potentially negates a dead card if someone's just playing all creatures. Yeah, I don't know if I like negate that much, but we're playing best of 3, so that's definitely something that can come in. This one's not too interesting. Maybe for the spells deck, it can work like a bit of ramp. This is evasion, so that's just good. In fact, yeah, 2, 3 Flyer for 3 is pretty good. Right, Gazer is good. It's a bounce spell with card draw. It's a cantrip, and you can gain life from it. The only drawback is its sorcery speed. So it's not that good against haste creatures, for example. And this is good. This is a flyer that gives you card advantage when it goes to the graveyard. Tolarian Terror, big creature, can be cheaper, but don't think we worry about that yet. Now black's quite important because the Phyrexian Missionary Kicker is black mana, so we're hoping black is good. It's a good start because I see we've got 2 bone splinters. You have to sacrifice a creature with this, so you really want some token makers, like we do have the Cavalier, which definitely helps. The Shadowrite Priest reminds me we're gonna have a little search for clerics. But we do have 2 Phyrexian Missionary, and the Samite Herbalist, and there's something else. There's 4 clerics we've selected already. The Wingmantle Chaplain is a cleric. Isn't that interesting? That's a surprising number of clerics, I'm going to be honest with you. This might be playable. And it's a 2/2 for 2. It's not terrible. And it's got a cool ability where you can just get a black creature from the library, directly from the library. If we've got something good, if we've got some big black creatures, that could be interesting. So it looks like we have Rona Sheoldred's Faithful. And you can cast her from the graveyard as well. Interesting. So this is maybe what you'd bring out with your Shadowrite Priest most of the time, or possibly Phyrexian Warhorse. However, you won't be able to kick the Warhorse, so you won't get the token. But this I underrated this the first time I saw it. This is really good, the Phyrexian Warhorse. So Tribute to Urborg is removal. The Atrocity gets something with mana value 3, and then it gets sacrificed. Yeah, that can, if you can look, that can definitely be pretty good. This just draws a card, straight up draws a card, so that's good value. This is basically it's 3 mana to draw 2 cards, which is good. You lose 2 life, so, and Extinguish the Light's really good. So we've got a lot of removal actually in black, and in white as well. So black-white looks pretty good so far. Right, have a look at red. So we've got removal. Prowess Rider. Yeah, I like this guy. He's be a 3/3 haster on turn 4, which is not bad at all. But we'll leave it for now. Fires of Victory. Yeah, instant damage. It's removal. This guy discards and draws a card. I think that's actually pretty good. You can discard those extra lands. Lightning Strike is removal. We find the Horde Master. Now this reminds me to look for goblins. We've just added one goblin to the deck. So we've got at least one. Okay, he is the only... If we actually switch off red. Yeah, looks like he's the only goblin. Goblin Picker is the other goblin. We don't... Yes. So, I'm going to say completely unplayable. Not exactly controversial to say that, I think. Balduvian Berserker is good value. That it's got enlist and it's got that really cool death trigger. I like that one. This has evasion. It makes it good. This makes 2 creatures for when you play it for 5 mana. This Keldon Strike Team is great. Trample is evasion, so that's good. Reach stops flyers, and it's got direct damage, so that's good as well. Oh yeah, I just remembered. I was getting really excited about how good black and white was, but we've still got Temporal Firestorm and Chaotic Transformation. So yeah, it's going to be... It might be a tricky decision to make. I think we'll get to the multicolored cards a bit later. We'll look at green. Bite Down is removal. Colossal Growth is a combat trick. Llanowar Loam Speaker fixes your mana. This is, yeah, Vine Shepherd Prodigy gives you card advantage. That is very good. Okay, the Bog Badger gives your team menace. Yeah, that's an evasion ability for the entire team. That is a very impressive number of Bark Weave Crushers, I have to say, because I think... No, you open 6 packs, don't you? We've managed to get 4 Bark Weave Crushers. It's not one I include because it doesn't have evasion, but it's kind of in the B team because any creatures with 5 toughness are pretty good. They're pretty difficult to kill. And like enlist is kind of a B team ability as well. It kind of lets your enlist creatures can break through when there's a bit of a when you're basically getting stopped by a huge creature on your opponent's side. Like you can combine 2 of your creatures' powers to break through. So it's on the cusp of being included. It's if we choose green, we might have an army of these guys. Right, so Slimefoot Survey is very expensive. It costs 5. And it's a ramp card. You get 2 land cards that each have a basic land type. Put them onto the battlefield tapped. So you ramp for 2 cards, for 2 land cards. You then look at the top X, where X is your domain. Up to one of them on top of your library, and the rest on the bottom of your library. Okay, so let's say that gets you to 5 basic lands. You look at the top 5, and you get to card select and put 1 on top of the library. And I have seen people playing this card. But the good thing is it's only 1 green. If you're a very serious domain deck, maybe your 5 colours, this can get you that colour you're missing, or those 2 colours you're missing. It's a weird mana fixing card because it costs 5 mana. It's kind of, yeah, I guess it's kind of for the domain deck. We'll include this. We will include this for the moment, if we want to go for lots of colours. And here's Territorial Marrow. Power and toughness equal to double the number of basic land types. So, yeah, 5 basic land types, and he's a 10/10. But yeah, he's minimum 2/2. He's probably a 4/4 or maybe a 6/6 for 5 mana. So, but he is basically just a big creature, and there's nothing too amazing about him, I would say. So we'll leave him for now. Look at the multicolored creatures. Balmor, Battle Mage Captain. Has flying. Interesting. And he gives your team +1 power and trample every time you cast an instant sorcery. So that seems very powerful. We have another blue-red, Najal the Storm Runner. Can cast sorcery spells as though they had flash, which is nice. Can pay 2 when he attacks. When you cast your next instance of sorcery spell this turn, you can copy it. Pretty cool, and he's got some good stats. 5/4 is pretty beefy. I suppose it's 5 mana. It's pretty expensive, but that guy definitely does some cool things and can get you lots of value, so we'll include him. Radar Coalition Warlord. When it becomes tapped, you give something, you pump something +X/+X. I think that ability is interesting enough that we include Radar, even though there's no evasion. It's definitely something that can break, a kind of a stalemate. It's a stalemate breaker, a bit like Enlist. But yeah, probably better than Enlist because of course you're getting extra toughness as well. We've got the Queen Alanal. I was just reading this card earlier. So it's like it got a Keldon Warlord if you have a long memory. Power and toughness equal to the number of creatures you control. And if you make tokens, you get an extra token. That's just really cool. So that's nice value. We have Zar Ojanen, Sion of Efrava. Never sure if it's Sion or Sion. Domain. Whenever he's tapped, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control with toughness less than the number of basic land types among lands you control. Okay. So it starts working when you have 2 lands, because you can't have creatures with 0 toughness. So in other words, if you've got two basic land types, he'll permanently pump all of your 1 toughness creatures. And that's whenever he becomes tapped, so he works well with Enlist. We can sort of keep him safe, enlisting things and pumping things up. So that seems really powerful. I like that. We will just include these lands. I think I've got maybe a difficult decision here on what to play. I'm going to try to not play white-red again. But yeah, definitely we've got some good red cards, but we've got a good white-black deck, I think. We've just seen a couple of good white-green cards, so it's all over the place. I guess green and blue are a bit lower on cards, but there's a couple of... Yeah, there's a good blue-red card there as well. In fact, sorry, a couple of good blue-red cards. All colours look playable. All combinations, pretty much. So I think I'll just call it end of part 1 there, and I'll see what I come up with. Welcome back. So I've put together a blue-red deck that's splashing a bit of white. I think I really want to play the 2 red rares, I decided, so Temporal Firestorm, and that of course has a white and blue kicker. And Chaotic Transformation as well seems very interesting. Also, blue-red have got a couple of these legendary creatures to try out, Balmor and Najal. So look, it's got some interesting stuff I want to try out. I'm not convinced it's the best possible deck, but I've not tried a spells deck before, so in this format. What I think might be the best deck, it feels like it should involve white because it's got good removal. It's got 2 Citizens Arrest, as well as Destroy Evil and a couple of Artillery Blasts. I don't know. Well, I'm not convinced about the Artillery Blast, but still, it's okay. And of course, I think my favourite uncommon creature, Phyrexian Missionary. So my feeling is I'll probably play blue-red until I kind of lose confidence in it. Maybe after a couple of defeats, and then for the last set of games, I might switch to something with white as the main colour, probably with some black. Yeah, white black or white green, because green has got some cool green white creatures. The Queen Alanal and Tsar Ojanen. And that would be something new as well, playing green-white. Maybe green-white-red, so we can play Radhar as well. But yeah, blue-red for the moment. We'll just... I'm going to get to play with a few spells I've not tried, like Timely Interference, which seems maybe a little bit weak, or it's conditional removal, but maybe it's good. I've got to really try it out to see if it's see what it's like. And I've got to remember we're playing best of 3 as well, so I have put one negate in the main deck, but we've got another one potentially in the sideboard. We could bring in maybe Artillery Blast from the sideboard as well. Take up the shield, something like that. We might need to put in more white sources because we only have 4 white sources. We've got a couple of artifacts that can fix mana. Though the tablet, I notice it only looks at the top 5 cards for a land, which isn't that good. It's not guaranteed mana fixing. But we've got quite a lot of cantrips in the deck and card draw, so hopefully we can draw into our white sources. Yeah, so I think we'll just jump into it and see how we get on. Got to remember, best of 3. Yeah, so best of 3 means, of course, if we lose 2 matches, we're out. So we'll see how the first match goes. I don't know if we'll have time to sideboard and play a completely different deck, but see how we get on. Okay, we've got both colours of mana, both main colours. Turn 3, turn 4, turn 5 plays, which is pretty decent. We are quite low on creatures. We've got 13 creatures in 45 cards, because of course we've got a lot of spells in there. So this is a very good creature draw, I would say. Okay, it looks like they've mulliganed. Blue-red, okay. And we've drawn removals, that's quite nice. See if they play something worth blowing up. Pixie Illusionist, 1/1 flyer. Okay, so he's already got 4 land types. That's quite impressive. Cool, we'll be able to cast this guy. We've got double blue. Well, when we get a a 5th land. Big blind wall. So this is looking very domainy, very mana fixy. And that is all 5 lands in his first 3 turns. That's quite nice. I'm just thinking... Actually, no, that doesn't work. I was thinking I could cast Lightning Strike and Balmor, but I can't. I've only got 1 red source, of course. Go for the Lookouts. Which, you know, at the very worst, it's got a decent death trigger if it does get blown up. Okay, right. Very nice. Yep, 2 defenders, 2 birds. Right, I think we are just gonna run my guys into his flyers. So it might kill the Soaring Drake. Kills the Lookout, I get compensation. So we don't use the Lightning Strike just yet. Right, so Mountain or Balduvian Berserker. I'll go for the Berserker. We will need double red at some point. And I'm going to go for the Storm Runner. See if you can play 2 defenders this turn and get 2 more birds. That would be quite impressive. Okay. Okay, School of Windgrace, yeah. Gets a land in the graveyard. Plays another land. That's some impressive work there. So I guess double Lightning Strike into Soul of Windgrace is looking good. Pay. Lightning Strike, Lightning Strike. blocked with a chaplain, which is interesting. Might be bringing it back with a Phyrexian missionary. That's 5 damage to the dome. Ow. I don't have to attack with Najal the Stormrunner, I suppose. As tempting as it is, I have run out of spells. I'm tempted to keep the pressure up though. Although Balduvian Berserker is pretty amazing with enlist, so I think let's go for a Balduvian Berserker. And perhaps another flyer. No attacks, obviously, because that's got reach. This is something I have learnt. Don't want to run my small flyers into that. Oh, got me there. Yeah, there goes my Outrider. Yeah, 3 direct damage as well. So that's 8 direct damage I've taken so far this game. This is going to be a big trampler. So you've got to find a way to do that 3 damage. It's not great. It doesn't feel great, but we want to, we're going to end up double blocking the Brawler with the 2/3 and the 1/3, I think. Because I really, really, really want to attack with the Berserker and pump it with Najal. Which it's probably a terrible idea, to be honest with you. We're just hoping he's not read the card and he's going to kill it. No. Okay. He's got a cool deck, definitely. This is a huge risk blocking like this if he's got some kind of pump spell. But we don't have much choice. I mean, that's 9 damage coming through. We can't kill the Outrider. He's got 3 spells in hand and 6 mana, so I've really played myself into this one. Okay. Another big creature. Another mountain. Okay. So it was a shame because, yeah, never got a chance to play Goblin Picker and start discarding my lands. Right. He's had a good run of creatures. So that's probably the one we want to trade off with, just put in the graveyard. This one is going to just chomp here. 1 damage to the illusionist, I guess. Okay. This is definitely looking like a big creature deck, so I think we just drop the negate. Keldon strike team, so that we can swing in for 6 damage if we want. We do not have white mana for the kicker. That's a bit of a shame. Gets countered, okay. So 2 cards in hand. You might have more direct damage or a pump spell, but I'd be surprised. Okay, he's got his Delirium Gazer. I never saw either of mine, unfortunately. What's this? Fires of Victory. Okay, it's only... So, this is interesting. Okay, suddenly things are interesting. That costs 5 mana, and I've got 6. We kick this so that we do 4 damage and we kill the Outrider, and then we can play a Mountain and a Battle Mage. I think that works. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. It worked. Okay. Mountain. Play Battle Mage. Okay, that's over to him. Oh, that's a good card, isn't it? Okay. Well. Yeah. Yeah. Tramples through. Pretty impressive. 5-color domain deck with big creatures. I think we'll get rid of negate. Destroy evil, even though we couldn't cast it, seems like the right choice. I don't think he had... Did he have a lot of removal? He had that bounce spell. We can keep that. The only question is what do we actually replace that card with? Because we don't have an awful lot of things that are good. We have to use white and splash Argivian Phalanx. I'm going to look at my land situation. Because swap that in, Swap that in. I've got a plan here. White and green. Okay. We'll go for another white source. And what the plan is, maybe we'll try and use artillery blast to kill his big creatures by having lots of domain. We'll just try and copy what he's doing. Okay, I think timely interference won't cut it in this one. We might get rid of shore up. Yeah, let's get rid of shore up. Okay. So yeah, we've added 2 artillery blasts and some more land types for all of his big creatures. Well, that is a 1-lander. Good, okay. We'll keep these 3 land. It's 4 land types as well, so we get quite a good artillery blast off that. That's, in fact, 5 damage. Pretty good. Gazer. Phalanx is going to be... Could actually play a strike team to make the Phalanx quite a lot cheaper, but that would cost 5. Yeah, let's play a little bit defensively. Let's, okay. Play Bog. Right. He's got his Vine Wall. Yeah, it's a good card. We'd love to get another land for the Gazer. It's a very good top deck. We've got Soaring Drake. We didn't want to play an unkicked Keldon Strike team particularly. Mystic 2/1 flyer. Okay. Let's swing in for 2 damage. I'll go ahead and play Berserker. I mean, I could artillery blast his bird, but let's build up the board a little bit. Okay. This just draws a card. We need to draw a land. I'll attack using Enlist. So that's 3 damage through, if he doesn't block it. Alright, big worm. We have drawn a land, so that's pretty cool. And we'll gaze that one. Another land, that's good. We'll do this Enlist thing again. the illusionist. Very interesting. So kicked. So it's a 3/3 flyer. So now we've got a few options opening up. Dominaria Terror. If we play an untapped land, we can play a kicked strike team. We could artillery blast something. Play a mana worker and a tap land. I've used the timeout. Okay. Yeah, we can't quite decide what to do. That's the trouble. Okay, I'm going to say untap land. Keldon strike team with kicker. That's going to get enlist. And we just might enlist it with Keldon strike team. And then we'll block with the Soaring Drake. 4 damage through, okay. And at least we're blocking the Battlewing Mystic. We could have swung in with strike team and given him just 1 point of enlist from a soldier. Then even if he blocks there, we can do the extra damage to kill the illusionist and trade off. So that could have got more damage through. It's got the cut down, okay. Five damage through. Okay, looks like he, didn't play anything, so we've top decked a flyer, but we can't play it. We've got to play our tap land. We could play Dominaria Terror. We'll do Mana Worker plus Artillery Blast. And we might decide what to do after the combat phase. He's keeping things untapped, so I'm wondering if he's got flash or some instants. Okay, that's getting a tribute to Urborg. one attacker, and we'll just enlist with one. He might have a haster that we need to block, I suppose. 2 damage through. So we'll do the... Just thinking, 5 damage. 5 damage. I like the idea of threatening lethal with a Tolarian Terror, if I can say it properly. But it also threatens lethal for us. I mean, if I can take out that wall, of course. Otherwise, it's Mana Worker, Artillery Blast on the Illusionist. Next turn we can do Talas Lookout and Artillery Blast. So I think, yeah, maybe this is the right turn for the Tolarian Terror. Oh, he's got a counterspell, okay. Sure. So yeah, makes sense. It's holding up mana for things. Removal and counters. Okay. Try an Artillery Blast, I think, on this. And then we've got Talas Lookout. Okay. Got Scorned. It's got a lot of counterspells. It's 5-color deck, I guess. Sure. And then we'll play Flying Blocker. Finally blocking there. I think he's going to win this turn then, because he's got something in his hand. Yeah, it's the Tolarian Gazer. God, imagine playing 5 colours and getting 2 counterspells, including a double blue counterspell. Must be nice. Okay, so that's 0-1. Are we going to completely change the deck? Is question number 1. I feel like I've seen what Phyrexian Missionary can do. Citizen's Arrest is like lots of other cards of the same type. Extinguish the Light's pretty good as well. It would be white, black, red with red, maybe red splash. Do I drop a main deck negate? Pop in an Artillery Blast? Don't know, can we support an Artillery Blast in this deck? Without many lands. Let's have a look. Yeah, our theory was we're going for some domain bonuses. Very easy to splash black into this deck. And take another white source for the Artillery Blast. Yeah, not sure about this one. Well, I feel I've committed to this. So yeah, I've got to see Najal the Stormrunner. Completely changing to something else at the last minute. Not too keen on that either, to be honest. I think we'll just we'll just go for it. Just see what happens. I mean, adding a bunch of tap lands, maybe not the best idea in the world. But we've got nice lands here. Everything got, yeah, white, blue, red. We just don't have any creatures. Do have a temporal firestorm. We might be able to play turn 5 to sort of clear the board. So he has mulliganed. Okay. And we've got double red, of course. And that's another red card. Tap land. Right. I think I might have missed a trick here because maybe he can pump this and do 4 damage. Seed Treaty. Oh, nice. Okay. Gets a 1/1 next turn. Turn after he gets to pump a creature. Okay, let's go for a bit of white mana here. How about Inscribed Tablet? Which we might use to just draw a card, to be honest, because we've got enough land. He's got his 3 colours. So that is actually it's 4 mana to pump it. It doesn't get cheaper to pump. He gets more. Gets to be 5/5. Okay. So I just think this is a much more cost-effective way to shut down his damage. That means we can wait a bit longer before we Firestorm. Don't have to do it right away next turn. And that's obviously going to get a pump next turn. So let's use the tablet now. Can we submit 0? Is that allowed? Let's view the battlefield. Actually, yeah, I do have a swamp. So we can't submit 0. So yeah, we'll draw a land. We could timely interference to just reduce the damage by 1. But yeah, this is what happens when you only have 13 creatures in your deck, and it's a 45 card deck. You just completely whiff on creatures. It is a possibility. Yeah, I'm just going to reduce the damage by 1 here. Okay. Here come the big creatures then. And I can just still beat that with Fires of Victory. I think I'll wait for him to put out 2 small creatures. Alright, for 1 green, can he protect his guy? Quite possibly. We'll play another land. Okay. Oh, here we go. He's got 1 card left. Yeah, I can do Firestorm and then play a creature afterwards. Not a very significant creature, but a creature nonetheless. He's down to 1 card. Okay. Could be a land, of course. I'll go ahead and use Endlist. Okay. So, he's got a fair number of big creatures. Didn't see a lot of spells. I think chuck in another artillery blast. Get rid of shore up. Okay, let's give it a go. Okay, so that's our 3 main colours. and 2 very big creatures. So it's tablet turn 1, and then we've really got to wait till turn 5 before we can do anything at all. Tablet turn 2, in fact. Okay, top ones. Not even sure I should use the inscribed tablet, because it seems like I suppose it just gets rid of the top 5 cards of your library, so it's, we'll use it whilst we can. Thins the deck out, gets a land out of there. If we're lucky, we might get to draw a card if we whiff. Okay, we have to we have to take that. There were lots of nice cards on top. And another land. Oh dear. Happens. Nice bit of ramp there. That gives him, that pump is going to be quite significant, at least 3 points. So, I think we got a bit of everything. Let's get the double red and the outrider. We should do 5 damage. Seven mana for the Tolarian Terror. His Destroy Evil. Yeah, it's more land. Okay, it's 4/4. Destroy Evil stops 4 damage. I think that's important at this stage. If he has the Flowstone thingy, I'll feel quite bad. Okay. So managed to get 10 land out of 14 cards. We've got literally 4 cards, 10 land. Oh, it's another land, okay. So he can enlist up to 5 power with that. Trade off. Oh well. Right, yes, you've got to enlist. Can't afford to take 5 damage, we've got to trade off. Oh dear. Well, that rather tears things up. Okay. Whilst he's tapped out, artillery blast on this guy. It should be all 5, yeah? Sure, let's keep playing lands. It's 11 and 16 now. Kind of want to drop this tablet now. Oh my, yeah, it's 12 and 17 now. So we just lost, top decking that land, okay. This is little unfortunate. Yeah, this experience with the inscribed tablet, missing those 4 cards, it's like 4 cards and a land. I mean, it's obviously completely random, but yeah, it's poisoned me on that card, I think. So we'll drop it and we'll get mana screwed now, but that is the way of things, isn't it? I can't bear to look at that card anymore. Right, he does have some removal. He does have some non-creature spells. Negate might be quite good. I think artillery blast is probably good. Timely interference isn't really doing it, I would say. Maybe another negate. Yeah, we'll give that a try. But yeah, I'm going to remember that. 12 land and 17 cards. Okay, it's 4 land, but we've got 3 creatures. That's a little bit better, right? And 3 tap lands, of course. But that's my fault. I put in all the tap lands. Got all the colours we need. But I'll tell you what, playing a 13 creature deck is brutal. I don't like it. 13 creatures and 45 cards as well. 17 in 40 is the rule of thumb for a reason, I think. Okay, begin with red. I think we'll try and play positively, so we'll assume we'll draw an untapped land, and we'll play a 2-drop. He's got his sprouting goblin. We got the untapped land. So we'll play a Balduvian Berserker. just remember okay, he's got his Vanguard. It's 5 mana to pump that thing. Right, so obviously we want to play a Keldon Strike team with the kicker. We'll attack with this. We will do 2 damage. And because he's obviously going to do return swing, we'll take out his 3/2. Whilst he's tapped out. He's got his order, okay. So we could play Strike Team now. I think we do. I think we'll play a kicked strike team, which is going to let us get damage through this turn, because we'll do an enlisted berserker. Very interesting. If he's going to block that, then I can pop his goblin. Okay, 3/3. Just swing with the strike team, I guess. Brute. Don't know what's happened. We've really drawn all our creatures, like 5 creatures. Okay, that's a pretty good one. And we've actually got the Gazer with kicker cost available, which is pretty huge. We want to get 7 to 7 mana so we can kick our Firestorm and save something as well. Okay, that's very good. Yeah, both of these guys can enlist. No, just he can enlist. What am I talking about? It's nice having mana up for negate as well. Seven damage through. Okay. And we'll have, so, quick count. So 3 basic lands, 3 blast does 4 damage. So that's very good. I can only attack with a War Brute now. Enlist strike team. Okay. 2 damage through. Okay, it's the 2/2 that gets bigger with more creatures. Runic Shot will negate. Okay, gets up. Yeah. Thing. Yeah, you have to cast that one, I guess. My turn. Uh, 3, 6, 7. Okay, we're going to hit 7 land. No point attacking with the strike team. That should be +3/+3, I make it. So that's 6/6, so we can only do that guy 4 damage anyway. But he's going to concede. Okay. Well, we did it. We actually got a win with this deck. Yeah, we'll drop the inscribed tablet because I think we've got a lot of other card draw things. I don't really trust it. I think it's just a waste of 2 mana. Artillery Blast number 2, main deck. Seem to need that all the time, and since we've chucked in all the lands, it's kind of good. We don't need green or black mana at the moment, so we'll leave that one out. It is just all about taking down those big creatures, it seems. We'll keep Timely Interference for the moment. It's a cantrip. It's supposed to work well with Balmor, but we haven't seen Balmor really. Well, I think in the first game, actually. Yeah, this is interesting. I think you know what? We have 1 green mana. Scry 2 and draw. Scry 2 and draw. That's probably better than the artifact. Now I think about it. Probably not going to kick it, but it'd be good to have some kind of fixing spell in the deck. And maybe that is slightly better than Timely Interference. Because we don't really have much... we don't have that many creatures, so that's just not that good a lot of the time. Yeah. Okay. And it's another instant spell, which is nice. Well, I'd say we've been very lucky with coin flips. Of course, what we see here, another one-lander. This is the obviously you don't have the hand smoothing algorithm for that you have in Best of One. These should be completely random hands. So you have to use a few more mulligans. We've got no red mana in this hand. That's not good, but we do have. That should be a 3 damage artillery blast. That's a Talos Lookout, which probably we should play on turn 4, assuming we can hit a land. Firestorm can go to the bottom. And we play the tap land like that. And we'll play another tap land, and that is our source of bread as well. That's quite nice, and it adds 2 damage to our artillery blast as well. So that should be a 5 damage instant, which is pretty nice. We can also play Talos Lookout next turn. Right, how's he doing here? Looks like 4 colours. So it can do a raise dead effect when it's in the graveyard. That's quite nice. I think we don't attack. I think we'll play the Lookout. Definitely blocking like that. Oh, not conscript, so he's another one that comes back. Oh my goodness, right. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, that's the kind of thing you can do. 3. Yeah, that's the five basics he's got. Okie dokie. Just remind myself, I keep counting these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Artillery blast only does 5 damage. Which is a bit of a pain. We could block with that and do lightning strike. Because we want to wait for 5 mana with this guy. So no attacks in turn, and we'll just have to accept the fact if he's got some kind of pump spell. Let's see. Okay, so view the battlefield. Two kinds of removal spell. I think I like the Gazer though. I think that's pretty cool. That draws a card. And just lightning strike at the end of his turn. And of course he can bring it back with his Eerie Soul Tender, which is horrendous. Never mind. So, I'll do Fume Berserker. Now, why would you tap white? Come on. Okay. Attacks. Oh, the Tellurian... Oh, okay. We've got somebody else. And he can recast things. No, no, he can copy things. He can copy things in his hand. Right. We've hit 5. Right, that's quite good. Right, so there's... I fancy playing the Outrider here. And that can trade off. Do a bit of damage into the bargain. He's probably going to double up on removal spells, if I had to guess. Yep, he is going to copy something. Draw 4. And I'm going to have to discard 2 cards. My god. Okay, so I guess they've taken out the mana worker. Probably it's the Keldon Strike team that has to go. Because I guess it doesn't quite block his big creature. At least he is tapped out this turn. That is green mana. That gets my artillery blast up a bit. Let's just attack with this. Get some damage in. I mean, I can't imagine I have anything like a chance after he's drawn 4 cards and made me discard 2. That's like a 6 for 1. A casual 6 for 1, basically. No, won't play the land. No attacks, and that gives him lots of value, so that has to die. See how bad this is going to be. It's like going to the dentist. But I tell you what, if we decide to keep this guy alive, we can get favourable block there and kill this guy with an artillery blast and kill this guy. that the only way we can win this? Count the colours again for 5. That should do 6 damage. Yeah. Kill that guy, kill that guy. What am I doing? What am I doing? Terror and Terror should have blocked that. Oh, this guy's not going to die, is he? That's the problem. Yeah, artillery blast on this guy or this guy. Yeah, we'll take this guy out whilst we can. Should be 6 damage. Yeah, I'm curious to see what spells he's going to copy. Gives me more information about his deck. Gets countered, sure, and something else gets countered. Fine. What I think the thinking is here, he's probably just going to bring this guy back from the graveyard and then bring something else back. Oh, nice. That's an actual... I think I just did -1 damage to him. Okay, so he has his own sweeper there. Very nice. 4, 5, 6... I don't think we need to play that land. I think we can always discard it later to something. So that's 10 damage. I love these just main deck. Double blue counterspells in your 5-colour deck. Just casually hitting 5 mana every time. Tolarian Gazer on 6/5, please. Draw a land. Perfect. We'll play a land. We'll play a land. Why not? I think 2 lands in hand. Good rule of thumb. Dead. Yeah. Boo. Right. It's another deck with huge creatures and counterspells as well. Didn't feel like Shore Up was going to be effective there. The game might be good. Take up the shield might be pretty good, actually. Could it be more effective than Flowstone Infusion? I think it might be. I've got big creatures too. There's actually a lot of big creature battles going on. Might be too many white cards. I might get stuck trying to get white mana, but the cards seem more relevant. Okay, we've got blue and white. Founding the third path doesn't really do anything yet. Okay, no red mana. We can play one thing, and this is kind of iffy, but we can play two things, I suppose. This may not be good enough. Let's keep it. Let's, fingers crossed, hope for the best. We're top deck red mana. Like a boss. There we go. We've managed to hit 3 creatures, which is pretty good. Oh wow, a turn 3 play. Another creature. This is going to be my best creature rollout, I think, of any of these games. So that's a bit tricky for me to deal with. I need double red to pump this guy up. Oh no, wait, what am I talking about? He's got menace. He's got menace. It's good to read your cards once in a while. I'm able to, we can play a turn 5 Najal as well, which is nice. But he's hit 4 colours so far. Artillery blast, that's nice to see. What are we going to cast? Obviously Najal. He can enlist. Get to 4 power. You know he's got the -2/-2 sweeper. Destroy evil on that guy, okay. And Najal. Go, essence capture, or whatever it's called. No. Okay, can double block the Carvu. I do want another land. I think I do nothing and end the turn. We could read ahead. I can wait for him to tap a creature, and then I'm back in the game. That's a tapped creature. Okay. My turn. Bite down, you say? In upkeep. Sure. Shame it doesn't tap the Outrider. That would be nice. Okay, well, we've got our own Outrider. Oh yeah, we can use the Tide Turner to cast Artillery Blast if we want. One, two, three, four, yeah. Artillery Blast it. Sacrifice it to the Gibbering Barricade. That's not very nice. That works. Salt and Right, we don't have double red for this. Okay. Right, so we need double red. It's as simple as that. Flowstone Carvu could trade off. No, I don't think so. Let's just do no attacks end turn. Since we do hit another red source, yeah, we'll have 8 mana. I guess who survives a top Firestorm? This thing is obnoxious. Okay, good. Okay, yeah, he's got the whole card draw thing going. Bone rattle. Put that Outrider back, so that's going to shoot 5. Yeah, lovely. Okay. Right. Let's count the mana again. 5, 7, 8 mana. We can do 1 kicker and sort of phase out the Outrider. Doesn't get exiled, so it doesn't get into the board. I think we're chucking the Carvu in. We're hoping he blocks with the Sojourner. Good. Good, good. Okay. Does he have counter magic up? Yes, he does. But we'll just have to try and do a do 1 kicker. Good game. Good game. Okay, don't trade off for that guy. Trade off there, trade off there. Two life. I might actually get to use Read Ahead. But we'll still die to the Sojourner, that's the unfortunate thing. Okay. Play an island. So Artillery Blast is only doing 4 damage. And you can cast it with Kicker as well if you want. That's quite cool. Well, at least we got to cast Temporal Firestorm a few times. We didn't get to cast the other big red card. I never saw it. The 1 red and 5. Yeah, let's have a look at the deck. Let's have a look at what we are missing out on. Chaotic Transformation, yeah. Never saw this one. Would have been good for taking out the 6 toughness creature. What I'm really struck by is how effortless it seems to be to play 5-color domain. Maybe I'm just not noticing the games where it just doesn't work at all and they do nothing. I win very quickly and don't give it a second thought. But I'm losing a lot of games, and a lot of them have got lots of colors. Doesn't seem to matter. So I didn't want to put this many white cards in because I thought, oh, I'm splashing white. It's a bit risky, but yeah, for the number of big creatures people have got, artillery blast seemed like a good thing to do with lots of lands. But yeah, what I mean, the deck I wanted to play, well, the deck that seems strongest is Phyrexian Missionary, Citizen's Arrest, and throw in maybe the 2 black removal cards as well, because everyone's playing these huge creatures. That seems to be but also I quite like this Slimefoot Survey card, and just going big green, that could be quite good. But I think I had to try something different. I've been doing just white-red aggro with tokens, so doing some blue-red spells is a bit different. But I've had this problem with blue-red before. In limited, you've got more spells, you've got less creatures, you feel much less consistent. That grizzly bear that comes out on turn 2 does you about 8 damage because you don't have any creature to block it. You haven't quite got the right spells for it. It seems to have, yeah. So probably yeah. I just don't have good enough cards for this deck. I think maybe the level of cards you need to make this work has to be a little bit higher. I do like Tolarian Geyser. I'm glad I got to use this one. Maybe the red part is the weaker part of the deck. Anyway, that I think. Well, we'll click done here. Pretty sure we've added this to deck, so I'm just going to check that. Yes, we have. So, thanks for watching, and good luck in your limited adventures. I'm just going to claim my prize, 500 gems. Beautiful.